Good morning, children. Myself, Muhammad Riaz, School Assistant Physical Science, ZPSS Indervelli. Today, we are going to start our second lesson, Chemical Equations. In the previous classes, we discussed about physical change and chemical change. Some changes are temporary changes and some changes are permanent changes. So, in the previous classes, we divided those changes into permanent changes and temporary changes. There we call them physical change and chemical change. In our day-to-day life, we are observing so many activities around us. So here a list of activities is given. By understanding those activities, we can categorize them into permanent changes and temporary changes. That is, we are going to discuss what is a permanent change and what is a temporary change. Is it a physical change or is it a chemical change? Just have a look on the following activities: the process of digestion, burning of the crackers, the process of respiration, powdered lime added to water, ripening of the mango, exposing iron nails to the moisture in air for longer period. If you observe all these activities, we can easily understand that they all are chemical changes. But what is exactly a chemical change? If new substances are formed with properties completely unlike to those of the original substances, then we say that a chemical change has taken place. So that is the chemical change. New substance with new properties must be formed in a chemical reaction. Then we can say it is a chemical change. Now, how do we know that a chemical reaction has taken place? Now we are going to perform some activities. Now come to our first activity, which is the chemical reaction between calcium oxide, that is quicklime, and water. We are going to do this. Now let's have a look at the apparatus. We took two beakers, some calcium oxide and water in a beaker, a red litmus paper to check the nature of the substance formed. It is calcium oxide. తెలుగులో అయితే మనం పొడి సున్నం అంటాం. We are taking some calcium oxide into a beaker with the help of spatula. Now we will add some water to this calcium oxide. Now we are adding some water. Shake the solution. Because calcium oxide does not dissolve completely in water, so we have to wait for some time. Now the chemical reaction took place between calcium oxide and water, and the product is calcium hydroxide, CaOH taken twice. Now we are checking the nature of the substance. Is it acidic or basic? So observe red litmus paper turned into blue. So we can say it is basic in nature. Calcium hydroxide is basic in nature. Now clearly observe, when we are touching the bottom of the beaker, we can feel some hot. So what we can say, it is a exothermic chemical reaction. Some heat energy is liberated in this reaction. Now have a look at the equation. Now write down the chemical equation. Now come to activity 2. It is a chemical reaction between sodium sulfate and barium chloride.
First one.
Now take a test tube, take some sodium sulfate solution and take some barium chloride solution. We already prepared the aqueous solutions of these two salts, that is the aqueous solution of sodium sulfate and the aqueous solution of barium chloride. Now we are pouring some sodium sulfate solution in a test tube. Now add some barium chloride solution in the same test tube. Now observe the changes. We can clearly observe this white precipitate is formed. It is nothing but barium sulfate. It is the precipitate of barium sulfate. And sodium chloride is also in aqueous state. It is also one of the products. Now write down the chemical equation. Now come to activity 3. It is the reaction between dilute hydrochloric acid and metal. Metal, we take zinc granules as metal. Now look at the apparatus. We took some dilute HCl in a beaker and adding zinc granules to the solution. Now observe, some gas is liberated from beaker. It is nothing but hydrogen gas. Now we can test the gas with burning matchstick. It burns with pop sound. It is the indication of hydrogen gas. Now write down the chemical equation between zinc and hydrochloric acid. Okay, so far we did 3 experiments, and from these 3 experiments we can conclude that the original substances lose their characteristic properties. Hence this may be products with different physical states and colors. We have observed in activity 1, 2, 3. In activity 1 we have calcium hydroxide as product, which properties are completely different from calcium oxide and water. And in second activity we got a precipitate, that is barium sulfate. Here also we got a new substance. And in third activity we got zinc chloride. And now the second point we can understand is chemical changes may be exothermic or endothermic. So in the first example we observed that some heat energy is liberated, so it is an exothermic chemical reaction. And the third point, there may be a form of insoluble substance known as precipitate. So here we got in activity 2 the barium sulfate precipitate. And the fourth point, some gas may be evolved or liberated. In third activity the hydrogen gas is liberated. We observed it in third activity. Now write down the homework and complete it till tomorrow.